Hello, I want to talk about something that's just not being discussed, that's pretty big and about to impact, I think, in a material way. There are a group of compounds, therapeutic compounds, called GLP-1 agonists. Snappy name. You may have seen these on the front page of the newspapers, recently approved by the NHS and also in the Eurozone. And in the States, next year, some 7% of the population are forecast to be on these drugs. Effectively, you'll know it by the names of fat jab, Semaglutide, Ozempic, which various celebrities, Elon, the Kardashians, etc., have taken. They're a family of drugs, and I won't go into the pharmacology of it. But essentially, there are different compounds that all do the same thing. They hit the brain center of satiety and hunger, and they massively dial down hunger and dial up the feeling of fullness. And that has two downstream effects, really. Effectively, people feel fuller when they're eating a meal, so they tend to eat smaller portions. And secondly, it removes the reward feelings, that dopamine hit that you get when you eat or you drink something that you like. They're dialing down reward and pleasure that's derived from food and drink. Whilst they do that, they generate an impact whereby people are losing up to 10% of body mass while they're doing it. The latest version of these drugs, Ozempic, is giving a 15% body mass reduction. And there are more kind of 3.0, 4.0 drugs in the pipeline. So this is only likely to increase in terms of their efficacy, in terms of how much they work. And this has led to many people saying, well, look, if you've got 7% of a population, taking these compounds, surely something's going to happen to the food and drink output of that country and demand. And the downstream consequences of that particularly seem to hit alcohol, where when people are on these drugs, 65% drink materially less than they were before, and 22% pack it in altogether. So that's a really interesting issue. And on the other hand, on the food side of the equation, people just don't eat as much. They don't want the size portions they've been used to having before. They want smaller portions because pretty much as soon as they've started a meal, they're full. Okay? So two really interesting repercussions that we need to unpack. And I think it's starting to show in the numbers. Now, while some of the big booze brands are sort of playing this down, I had a leaf through Constellation Brands results when they were last out, their last financials. They're saying, well, look, no one's really talking about this en masse in our focus groups. But if you talk to Walmart, who know a thing or two about selling booze and food, Walmart came and said, look, we're selling less units of alcohol month on month. We're selling less calories month on month, despite the prices going up. So clearly something is stirring in the waters. What does this mean for the food and drink industry in the UK, in Europe, in the States? Certainly this whole trend to drink less, drink better is clearly here to stay. People will be drinking less, but clearly they need to drink something that's of a higher class. And secondly, for food, smaller portions are the orders of the day. That means more intense flavours, better nutritional profile, less processed food, more likely to hit what remains of those reward systems in people's brains. So it's a fascinating topic. No one's talking about it, but I suggest it's something we should all pay attention to.